Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your mid-November. I almost said December because those are gonna be coming out in a week now. It's right around the corner. So your mid-November tarot card reading. All right, let's jump right in. So I'm going to start with the two animal cards, which represents an overarching thematic energy to keep in mind over the rest of November, and also to keep in mind as we look through the rest of the spread. So you have the oyster and the hyena, and I'm going to go ahead and read these from the book, and then I'll give you my intuitive 2 cents. So the oyster. Patient, secret keeper, hiding the inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. So beautiful. And next we have the hyena. And I feel that this is an obstacle. It feels like sort of for the majority, we're looking at an obstacle here mostly. An obstacle to that oyster energy, which is profound and fantastic. Hyena, humor, wit, sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams yet to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships, or to mask things you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. Okay, so this is a really interesting energy combination here, and what's so beautiful about this is the oyster energy is speaking to this gift that you have inside of you, that you are eager to share, that you are meant to share. And so there's this opening up that's taking place. There's this, I just heard calling. So there's this real fire inside of you is what it feels like. There's this real treasure that you know is there, that you're at this point in time working with more and more and more, and are just breaking open. It's just right on that brink of breaking open. Hyena energy crossing is, there's a sense of finding almost it feels like there's I'm looking at the dark of the moon, and there's something that doesn't feel quite conscious, like a lack of consciousness, almost expressing itself as finding like sneaky way, like the image I'm getting is sort of finding sneaky ways around committing fully to what you're doing. So it's almost this half-heartedness that may be showing up in the form of I don't even want to say half-heartedness. It's more like it feels as though you just might be allowing yourself to be pulled away from that center, from fully expressing yourself. So it's almost like a fear, like an unconscious fear or something that could be coming in and allowing you to get distracted in one way or another from fully actualizing this, from really opening up in the ways that you know you're meant to. So it doesn't feel, this doesn't feel too severe. It almost just feels like old patterns or habits or things that you used to, and I just heard give yourself away to before. I feel like there's been a lot of work with boundaries and working with boundaries. But at this time, as much progress as you may have made, it's still saying that there's more to open up. So you might notice old patterns of giving yourself away again, sort of sneaking back in where there were boundaries before. You're like, oh, maybe I should say no to this, but instead I'm saying yes. Just different things that are perhaps could be keeping you from that center, and could be keeping you from fully expressing and creating and actualizing whatever this is that you're working on, whatever this endeavor is that you're really yearning and eager and working to make real. There's so much creativity here, so much creativity, just bursting with creativity. Okay, so, and also this, and half-heartedness, separate of that message, half-heartedness is coming up strong around the card. So there could be this sense of half-heartedness for some of you in relation to, and I just heard family matters, and also some walking on eggshells. So there's a little bit of this half-heartedness to a degree, and then also sort of a walking on eggshells that I'm feeling from this card. Okay, let's keep these in mind as we move through the rest of the spread. So we have the Mother of Cups crossed by the Father of Wands. And then in the recent past, we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Anchoring the spread, we have the Two of Wands. Beautiful. So there's that direct action that you've been taking, this cultivation, this hard work, this creative endeavor and expression. So you've definitely been on it. You've definitely been focused. Coming up into the near future, we have the Lovers. Beautiful. And then crowning the spread, we have the Daughter of Pentacles. And I just heard a message with this, so some sort of message, information. Your general energy is, oh, this is so beautiful. The Strength card, Leo's card. Okay. In your environment, we have Justice. And for some reason, when I first looked at this, it looked like I was looking at two different people. So in your environment in particular, it's almost like black, white. There might be a bit of, I just heard standoff, or just some distinction about two people sort of one on one side of the spectrum and one on the other, or at odds, I just heard. Or just, there's just sort of this, a duality to this, to this sort of energy, and this dynamic. It's kind of this almost like magnets. When one moves here, one goes here, when one goes here, sort of repelling each other, but directly in your environment. There's sort of this hovering nature to it. Okay, in your hopes and fears, we have the Three of Swords reversed. Okay, and then at the end of November into December, we have the Daughter of Swords reversed. Very interesting. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords, and under that, we have the Daughter of Cups reversed. And then under that, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. Okay. And then I chose one card from Colette Baron Reed's The Good Tarot, and we have the Four of Fire. Stunning. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, yes, these three cards wanted to come out for you as well. We have the Six of Pentacles next to the Seven of Cups, next to the Emperor reversed. And I just heard Aries loud and clear with this card. Okay. So the Mother of Cups, we have this nurturing energy. So there's this almost this, the feeling that I'm getting is this nurturing of creativity, this nurturing of something that you're creating, that you're manifesting. So there's this, and it's almost, there's this playfulness to it, this like playful energy, this, there's a free spiritedness to it, but it feels careful and structured and, you know, specific, but also very light and free spirited and like all over the place a bit. It's, yeah, like a spontaneous. And so there's this nurturing energy that's coming through, this like nurturing of this creativity, of this, I just heard of this joy, this nurturing of this joy. How beautiful. And we have this cross by the Father of Wands. And I feel like the Father of Wands is really both challenging and also urging this energy forward. So it's almost like there's this energy in your environment that both challenges this way of life. It's almost like if this dream is the dream you have for yourself. If this is almost, because there is this dream-like energy that's coming from this card, and it's sort of this. It's saying this like this nurturing of this joy. This is my dream. This is the dream, and it feels like in this dreamland state. And then we have this energy that's sort of crossing it, and also simultaneously calling this forward, almost like it's shouting, saying, or like looking sternly in this sort of poised way, saying, go get your joy, go get your joy. And then there's this, like, so follow your joy, nurture your dreams. And then there's also this energy of it's sort of challenging the ability to do that as well. So there's this encouragement. And then there is also simultaneously something about this energy that could feel like it's a bit of a hurdle you need to get over, or a bit of a challenge. Maybe make something feel like a little bit, like it's almost a little bit more complicated to find this joy in some way, or an obstacle of some kind, to a degree. So so anchoring the spread, we'll go here first. Anchoring the spread, we have the Two of Wands. So this is like this forward action, this vision, this strong vision, and this organizing around that vision. So we see the pace, we see the color, and we see the focus that is so alive in this card. And this is what is anchoring this entire spread. So it's like you've had that focus, that focal point. And we see that again here in the recent past, still maintaining that center, maintaining that vision. And then the Spider card is building, and building with such integrity. So it's like not one step is missed. There's no cutting corners. It's like really, really going to work. And then the Father of Wands, as sort of this state is, it's like this dreamlike state is both your vision for yourself, and also this thing that feels just very alive and present for you right now. And then this Father of Wands energy, which is carrying us through to the Lover. So I feel like I'm looking at a partnership here, and this could be the Mother of Cups and the Father of Wands. While there was challenge here or whatever, there's some sort of hurdle, and then this looks like this beautiful partnership. This is Gemini's card, and we're looking at this partnership, this union, this coming together, this, I just heard, joining forces. In crowning, we have the Daughter of Pentacles, and it feels very connected to this, and it feels new, like there's this new light, there's this new life, I just heard. And also there is just so much color right there on the horizon. There's just so much possibility and potential and wonder, I just heard. And there's this peace, and I just heard, and there's this golden ticket. So I'm just looking at the pentacle, sort of. It's almost like there's this, you have like this golden ticket, right ahead of you. And it could be this oyster energy as it's sort of opening up. This is your golden ticket. So continuing to open up, continuing to go from black and white and open up to the color. So it's this expression, it's this creative power, it's this vision, it's this building of this like truest form of your expression and joy. It's beautiful. And I just say, again, it feels like some sort of message or new information, I want to say, is coming in around that as well over this period of time. So in your general energy, we have strength. And the feeling I'm getting is just working really hard at something with such integrity, with such steadfastness. There's this perseverance, and yet there's this really gentle and almost like easeful determination. And this like easeful, like working through this, working hard easefully. And there is joy. Joy is coming up so often in these cards, joy. So it feels like whatever you're working at, it does, or it has the potential to bring you great joy, whatever you're working at or whatever you're working for. And the Justice card. So this is in that environment. So we're seeing that too. So this could also be the Father of Wands and the Mother of Cups, you and another. Or this could be a third, so if there are two people. And it's just, again, it sort of feels almost like this game of magnetics of like, repelling and sort of coming together, and how to sort of work, how to shift and work in this dynamic is what it feels like. And then in the hopes and fears, we have the Three of Swords reversed. This just feels like disappointment. It feels like letdown. So, and it feels like for many of you, it could be connected to whatever this is that you've been working really hard at. And it feels like, oh, my fear is just that I could be disappointed, that it could be wrong, I just heard. That it could not pan out, that I would sort of find myself in something, that I can't get out of. I just heard. It just feels like, it feels like a stuckness. It feels like there's this sort of fear of feeling stuck or constricted. And sort of overly bound, as we can see. And that's where it's going to be important to say no when you need to say no to things. Because as this happens, there's a lot of resentment that can come with that. As we all know, without setting boundaries and staying true to ourselves, we find ourselves getting pulled in directions that we don't want to be pulled in. It creates a lot of resentment, and it just gets you off path. So be conscious of that. Like really, if you need to set boundaries, if you need to say no in order to encourage this opening further, to encourage this commitment to yourself, do it. Take care of yourself. Really take care of yourself, and don't let yourself get pulled off center by external energies here. Really, that's up to you. Set those boundaries and speak up for yourself. Be your own best advocate. That's so important for this to really blossom into what it's meant to become. So in the coming up sort of at the beginning of December, end of November, we have the Daughter of Swords reversed. And I feel like this is continued movement forward. This feels like with these two cards, it feels like there is this, it's almost like there's this movement that is right on the horizon, But for the time being, there's this stillness, there's this focus, there's this focused intention, and there's this reflective nature to this card as well. So there could be a lot of reflective work taking place. And I sort of feel like that's what this Daughter of Swords feels like to me. It feels like this combination of reflective work and finding inspiration from the inside and then bringing it out, and this clarifying of your thoughts before this movement takes place. But it feels like that movement's right on the horizon, and right now it's sort of more about just continuing to cultivate in this way that you are. And just nurturing, continuing forward with this creativity. And maintaining focus in the beautiful, compassionate, joyful, loving way that you do. So with these three, I feel like I'm just looking at exactly that. So we see this growing. This is sort of a message coming forward saying what you've been working at is growing, is really growing, and you're making great progress, is what it's saying. And the Seven of Cups is sort of looking at these options, and what it feels like is it more so is I feel like we're looking at perspective, the perspective aspect of this card, where it's the sun on one side and the moon on the other. It's really how you look at everything, isn't it? So this is just sort of saying to opt glass half full when you can, and especially in areas if you feel that if you do sort of find yourself feeling stuck, if you feeling constricted, just take a breath and try to look at it from another side. Try to sort of find a perspective on the situation that will empower you and that will support you. So the Emperor reverse is, I just feel like an Aries energy for some of you might be coming up strong. And it feels like it's that supportive fire energy. It's that supportive, creative energy. So I feel that what this is saying is it's saying that creativity, particularly during this time, is going to support you in so many ways. So it's really, I feel like we're kind of deep diving into your creativity here. So that's really, really exciting. And we see that also in the Four of Fire. This is more fire energy, more of that that live wire creativity. And that focus, that intense focus. I'm going to go ahead and read this from the book. Here it is. Four of Fire. Okay. Four of Fire. A new creative phase, celebration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships. Dancers have partners, singers have musicians, helping them to create sweet music. And I find others who are in sync with me and my desires. It's a time for celebrating friendship and all that others bring to my life. A time for revelry and relishing the pleasures of being in good company. Making magic together with others is the focus at this time. So this is that creative, joyful creativity. It's that focus and that synergy. So I feel like it's a joyful time. It's a very joyful time. Joy has been loud in this reading. So it's really celebrating yourself and celebrating this time and celebrating one another. And when this card shows up, I feel that many of you are. And it's holiday season, so how beautiful. So I'm wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate it. Sending you all my love. And thank you so much for being here with me. I love you. And please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you very soon. Love you.